So I wanted to do a follow-up video about the Irish plumber's pipe flute that I made the other day. And I enlisted the help of my husband. When he got home from work last night, I mentioned that I wanted to use brake clean to take off the printing. While I was busy with the kids, he disappeared in the basement with the flute, and brake clean does not take off the printing. We ended up having to sand it off, but you can't even tell. You can't even tell. And sanded off the bottom edge so that it's nice and smooth. He had a tool for smoothing out the edges of pipe, and we're able to use that to smooth out the edges of the finger holes. Let's see if I can get a good close-up there. Kind of. And so it took off all the burrs, all the rough spots, and they're very nice. They're very smooth. They're a lot easier to cover now. We did the same with the embouchure hole. Unfortunately, that kind of created a little bit of a problem because it smoothed it off enough that it affected the sound a little bit. And of course, the flute in the first video that I filmed of it, it was real whispery. It sounded better than the first one that I made, but it was still real whispery, and so it just kind of became a little bit finicky. So I did a little bit of research on flute heads, and I pulled my flute out of the case and really inspected the embouchure hole and stuff on it. Come to find out that the blowing edge, when you hold it up to your mouth, the edge that's farthest away from your mouth, where the airstream gets split and then goes down the rest of the flute, that's sharp. It's not just a straight chasm in, like where it was drilled out, where it would make a nice straight hole down into the pipe. It's not straight like that. It's actually like a sharp blade. And so what I did this morning was I went back downstairs. I put the flute back in the vise. I ran the 7/16 drill bit back in there just to kind of straighten things out again. And then I sat down with my pocket knife and I started shaving away on this edge to make that sharp blade. And I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can kind of see how it's kind of tapered in there in comparison to, let me get everything oriented right. See on that side, on this side, it's pretty straight looking. But on this side, it's a lot more swooped, and that improved the sound incredibly. And just to demonstrate, can get a full 2 octaves out of it now. So, plumber's pipe flute, under $5, and probably about an hour's worth of work, and then just whatever little time. I mean, shaving out the edges here, that barely took 10 minutes. Barely took 10 minutes. And just the other finishing work, it was like, yeah, it was hardly nothing. So, cheap, pretty easy. Highly recommended. Thank you much.